I'm Carly and welcome to my channel. So today's video, as you can tell from the title, is going to be a very large book haul. Just earlier today actually I went and bought like 13 books that were super cheap, and I'm so excited. As you can see, I have my bookshelf right back here. It's kind of a small collection compared to a bunch of other booktube bookshelves that you see on YouTube, but it is actually growing pretty fast and I'm really excited. I'm gonna need a new bookshelf after this. I like to find cheap books. I don't like spending money at like Barnes and Nobles and stuff because those are really expensive stores. So I went to a store called Ollie's. I'm not sure if anybody has it besides me. I could be wrong, but there they have like books that were like $2 to $4. The most was probably like $4 or $5 for a book. So I was just like, I need to buy me some books because this place is amazing. But the only downside to this place is that they don't have a lot of big books that you see on booktube, and a lot of like one of those expensive like cool books that you see on booktube. Like you don't see any of them really there. But I did see some Stephen King books and I thought that was pretty cool to see them there, and I grabbed one. So I'm just going to stop rambling and show you all the books because this is going to be a pretty big book haul for my first book haul on this channel. Get ready and here we go. So I'm going to start off with a little pile of books that I got from my friend. The first book that I have here is called After by Anna Todd. It is a pretty large book. Books like these tend to scare me and I usually don't want to read them, but I'm actually kind of excited to read this. I actually didn't really get to read the back of it, but I found the third book to this at Ollie's today and I wanted to pick it up, and I thought it was the second book, but it was actually the third book, so that sucks. But I'm going to end up getting a second book if I like this series because it seems like a really good series from what I read on the back of it. It's a pretty big description on the back. About a girl named Tessa, really. I don't know. Basically, it's just about a girl named Tessa and her life, I think. Something like that. If I read this, I will definitely let you guys know. And sorry, that was a motorcycle. But yeah, I'll let you guys know. The second book that I have is Mockingbird. I don't really know what it's about either. My friend just gave it to me and it looked interesting, so I'll read more into this. Some about Caitlin's world. So it's probably a pretty good book, and it is a National Book Award winner, so I mean, it's gotta be good. The next one is Out of My Mind by Sharon M. Draper, and in school I read a lot of Sharon M. Draper books, so I'm a fan of her books a little bit. I read them like freshman year and I'm going to senior year, so my friend said this was a really good book and it's going to make you cry or something like that, so you gotta get the tissue boxes ready because I tend to actually cry over books. I almost cried over this one book that I recently read, so we'll see how good this is. It looks pretty cool. I really don't know what it's about again because I just got it from my friend, but yeah. Next one is Gates of Paradise, a Blue Bloods novel by Melissa de la Cruz. So I don't know what this is about either, but it seems like a pretty cool book from the cover page, and it's a pretty thick, heavy book. So I'm excited to read this. And lastly, there is a book called It's Kind of a Funny Story by Ned Vizzini. Don't quite know, but it looks like this, and it's actually a pretty cool cover. So I heard this is a pretty good book too, my friend told me, and it's another really thick book, and yeah, I'll have to give this a try. So now on to this huge pile of 13 books that I can't even get into the frame, but I got all these earlier today for like $2 to $4, and I'm just like really excited. So the first one I have here is The All Fall Down by Roxanne St. Clair. And I read into it a little bit. It's apparently about like a list of girls, like apparently a list of people are on this list and they all end up dying or something like that. That's what I read from the back of it, or actually inside of it. Yeah, this book was $2 and that is insane, like insane. So I'm really excited to read this because it seems like a really good book, because it says every girl would die to be on the list, but apparently they all die once they're on this list. I think it's like a set, like the background is like in like a high school kind of thing, like about this like guy, like this girl's like with this guy or something like that. I'm not too sure, so I will give this book a try and I'll let you guys know. And the next one is After We Fell by Anna Todd. Like I said, this is the third book, I think, to the After book that I showed you in the beginning. It's another very gigantic book. I thought this was the second book, but it's not. It's a third one, which is okay. Which I'm still going to read this, hopefully, if I actually get into the series. And yeah, the second book is After We Collided. I will have to get into these books because like I always wanted to read a series books, like books of series and stuff like that, so I'm really excited for this. The next book is Take Me There by Susan Calistani. I'm not too sure how to pronounce names of books, but I actually have one of her other books right here, it's called So Much Closer, and it was a pretty good book. I don't really remember it because I read it like a while ago, but this one seems really good too. Kind of like the same like storyline maybe, but it seems pretty good. So I mean, why not? Next book is The Vast Fields of Ordinary. All I know is that it's like a story about a gay kid, I think, and it's like his last summer at home. He has a crappy boyfriend, crappy job. His parents' marriage is falling apart, and he meets some guy, and he like changes his life or something like that. That's what I got from the back of it. But I'm really excited to read this because I love reading LGBTQ+ books, so I'm really excited to read this. The next one is Hard to Hold by Julie Leto, and I picked this up before I left as well. It's just about, I don't really know, again, I don't really know. I just quickly read all the backs of these. But it's like kind of like a love story, and I'm like a sucker for YA romance books. Like that's like what I love to read, so I think I'm gonna enjoy this. Next one is called Imperfect Birds. It's a novel, and it's by Anne Lamott, something like that. But it's a hardback, and I love hardbacks. And then it's like kind of big and thick, and it seemed like a really cool book. I think it's about like a 17-year-old girl, and her family's like moving, and she's like slowly falling into like bad things, like doing drugs, and her parents are showing her, are like gonna end up like yelling at her or something like that because they're trying to show her that it's not good to do those things, and that she has consequences when it comes to these things. So it's kind of like a learning, like finding yourself, I think, type of book. But it's a novel, and I'm pretty excited to read it, so I hope it's really good. The next book is The Symptoms of My Insanity by Mindy Raff. I'm not too sure, but it's like a book about a hypochondriac that kind of just has like a hectic life, but it's like kind of like probably like a teenager's life type of thing, but it's like really, sounds really good, so I'm excited to read this. Next book is Catch a Falling Star by Kim Culbertson. Again, it's like probably killing the names here, but I know this book is about a girl. There's a guy that comes, it's like a movie star or something like that. He's like a really famous guy, and he's like coming to their town, and she's like the only person that's not like drooling all over him, and so she has to like play his fake girlfriend for like the public and stuff. So it seems kind of cool. I put it on Goodreads, and I saw there was a lot of good reviews about it, so I mean, hope this is a good book. The next book is In a Dark, Dark Wood by Ruth Ware, and I love this, and I think the last time I was in Ollie's I did see this book, but I didn't pick it up because, I don't know, I wasn't as big in books as I am now. But I do know it's about a girl named Lenora, and she goes out on like a retreat with her friend, and the next thing she knows she ends up in a hospital. So she goes back to figure out what happened that night. So it's kind of like a mystery book, so I think that's really, really cool because I need to spread my horizon on type of books that I read, so I'm really excited to read this. The next book is The Silver Star by Jeanette Walls, and I actually have read Jeanette Wall books before. I actually read The Glass Castle, which is actually one of my favorite books not one of my favorite books, like a book, but a book that I read that I liked. I read it for school, and I was really excited to see that there was another book of hers there. But I know this is about two sisters, and their mom like leaves them to go help herself, look for herself, because she lost herself apparently. And then the girls like end up going places, and they figure out what happened to their dad or something like that. I read a little bit into it as well, but this seems like a really cool book. The next two books are actually like a series. It is called Black City by Elizabeth Richards. This excites me. Okay, like it just really excites me. Like I read the back of it, and it just seems like kind of like a love story, but it's a series, so I thought that was really cool. And like I think there's something about like secrets involved with it, like a secret love story, like something. It sounds deep and it sounds dope. So I'm excited to read this. So that was the first book, and the second one is called Phoenix, and I'm excited to see this because I'm surprised there was even two. Like this one was separate from this one. Like I found this in a different bin, and I found this one like on the wall. So I thought that was really cool. So I'm excited to read these because like I've always wanted to read series books, like I said, and I hope I can get into these because it just seems like a really good book. And the best for last probably is my first Stephen King book, and it's called Mr. Mercedes. I actually do like this one a lot. There was like a few other Stephen King books, but they didn't grab my attention as much. They kind of just like, they sounded really kind of boring in my opinion of what I like as books, but this one really dragged me in. It's about a guy like ran over all these people, and he loved the feeling of the death under his Mercedes car as he hit people, and so he's planning for like a bigger thing to happen, like to kill more people, I guess. He's like planning for like a bigger thing to happen because he wants to feel the rush again, and so I think there's like two like detectives involved, and they have to try and stop him and stop that from happening. So they have to figure out like all these clues and stuff. So this seems like a really cool and different type of book that I wouldn't read, but I'm actually really excited for this, and it's my first Stephen King book, and I'm really excited for that. So hope you guys enjoyed my first book haul. I'm sorry if it was a little bit all over the place or a little messy. I jump my words a lot. If you can tell, I'm really sorry for that. But if you liked this and you want to see some more videos like this from me, give this video a big like and subscribe down below because that'd be really, really cool. And yeah, I'll probably see you guys in a few days because I'm probably going to do like another book haul, or not like a book haul, but like a 2BR for July. So yeah, I'll see you guys then. Bye guys.